New today, Israel says it has cut the flow of electricity to the last facility in Gaza that was still receiving power from the Israel Electric Corporation. This is an attempt to add to the pressure on Hamas to free the remaining hostages. But Hamas is downplaying the move, saying it will have little practical effect since Gazans have largely relied on generators and solar power since the war broke out. Meantime, a human rights group warns Israel's decision to block humanitarian aid could shut down most of the territory's water infrastructure within a week by starving it of fuel. CNN's Jeremy Diamond reports on the impact the blockade could have.
In the desolate ruins of northern Gaza, Hala assembles scraps of wood and chunks of foam to build a fire. Proper housing and basic infrastructure are nowhere to be found. But for now, at least, there is flour, water, and oil, and Hala's mother can make bread. The food aid is what's keeping us alive, she explains. Like so many others, Muhammad and her family of 11 are surviving thanks to the tens of thousands of aid trucks that entered Gaza during the first 6 weeks of the ceasefire. We eat and drink for the whole month from aid. Without that, it will be very difficult. Food and drinks are very expensive, especially when crossings were closed. We couldn't buy sugar or flour, she says. Aid makes us live. That lifeline is now under existential threat. Israel is laying siege to Gaza once again, shutting down the supply of food and other humanitarian aid in a move decried by the United Nations and human rights groups as a violation of international law. Israel says it is trying to pressure Hamas into releasing more hostages and accuses Hamas of profiting from the aid to, quote, rebuild its war machine, a claim Hamas calls a baseless lie. It is also threatening to cut off water and electricity if Hamas does not give in to new conditions. And a return to war could also be on the horizon. In Gaza, where markets have only recently begun to come back to life, Israel's renewed blockade is already driving up prices. And aid groups say minimal stockpiles of aid are beginning to dwindle. Without more aid, the World Food Program says bakeries and soup kitchens will likely shut down in less than 2 weeks. For those living amid the rubble, aid running dry will revive the threat of famine and spell an end to what little they can still rely on. We are so happy when aid keeps coming, Ibrahim says. We have no work, our lives are on hold, our businesses and homes are gone, so when aid comes, the children are happy. Whether it's food, drinks, cleaning products, this is the only way we can live. For some, the aid blockade already feels like a return to war. They are fighting us through food, Abu Muhammad says. Netanyahu is now publicly saying, I will close the crossings and starve you. No one is standing against him. He wonders who will stand with the people of Gaza and how he will feed his children when the aid runs dry. Jeremy Diamond, CNN, Tel Aviv.